If you've got an interview coming up, you do not want to miss this video because I'm breaking down one of the trickiest questions you'll face. Why should we hire you? Transition from a dead-end job to a purposeful, thriving career. I'm Samya, founder of Unwind the Grind and your career change coach with, is it 14 now? 14 years of leadership, coaching, and marketing expertise globally, helping you navigate all things careers. Find your why, discover your career purpose, brand and sell yourself, craft your story, pitch, resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn. Land the right job. Network online like a pro. Ace job interviews. So buckle up, get back in the driving seat, and make things happen. This is one of those questions which sound a tad aggressive in an interview. It literally puts you under the spotlight and you have to essentially sell your value as a potential employee to the interviewer. It can cause even the most extroverted, confident people to come under pressure. I have a video dedicated to interview mindset hacks, which is all about how to keep your nerves under control on interview day. Make sure to check it out, link in the description below. In this video, I'll be focusing on how to best answer the question, why should we hire you, in 5 steps. But first, let's take a look at the common mistakes interviewees make when faced with these questions so you know what you want to definitely avoid. 1. Repeating what's in your CV. Just rehashing all the skills and achievements that you've got listed in your CV like a robot isn't going to cut it. If this is what the interviewer was looking for, they would have just read your CV again. They're looking for something more than that. They want to know what value those skills or achievements have for them. How do they add value to the role you're applying for? What are you adding to their talent pool? So if you're not able to connect the dots between what you've got and what they won't care about what you've got. As simple as that. 2. Throwing around fluff words. I know it's very tempting, but it's an awfully bad idea to use generic fluff words like hard worker, team player, quick learner, blah, blah, blah. And not just for this question, but the entire interview. The interviewer has heard these words from literally everyone before you without much tangible proof backing it. So what will make you stand out from the clutter? For this answer, you want to avoid focusing on behavioral traits, and I'll tell you why. To fully do justice to a behavioral trait like communication, you need to give a specific example with context, action, and result. If you do so, it will end up taking the time you have for this answer without really getting into the gist of what you want to say. So keep your behavioral traits for other questions. Here, you want to be hard-hitting and specific. Linked to this is the third mistake, speaking too little or too much. If your answer is very short or barely a couple of sentences, you've not elaborated enough, and it won't make much impact. A short answer would lack diversity of areas where you can add value, and it will also lack good solid examples of this value addition from past experience, both important in enhancing the credibility of your answer. On the other hand, if you can't stop rambling on, the interviewer will probably just doze off or lose interest. It will also make you sound incapable of articulating an effective answer and downgrade your communication skills score. Perhaps a bigger detriment will be that you will end up repeating some of the stuff in other questions that require a similar kind of response, such as the question, "Tell me about yourself." That question also asks for skills, experiences, achievements, etc. And you really don't want to be repeating stuff and making it look like you haven't gotten enough. Always keep a mental tab of which examples you want to utilize in which expected question and gauge the length of your answer with that. Not too short, not too long. Okay, now that we have the don'ts out of the way, let's get to business and talk about the 5 steps to answer why should we hire you. I've got a sample answer at the end of the video, so keep watching. Number 1, humanize the interviewer. Humanize the interviewer, the recruiter, the hiring manager, whatever is the case. Remind yourself that they want you to succeed. They want this role filled as fast as possible. They have better things to do at work than wanting you to fail. Your chances of landing the role are almost 20 to 30% if they're interviewing 4 to 5 people for this role. They're your ally, not your enemy. Every interviewer is different, naturally. Some might not show any enthusiasm, have a poker face, and some may be very interactive. Remember, it's a conversation, not an interrogation. Although this question might feel like one. Don't be scared to be lighthearted occasionally or to throw in a personal yet professional comment about something other than the job. It's also helpful to think of the interviewer as a colleague you've worked with for a few years already. That colleague perspective helps you enter the room with the appropriate degree of confidence and professionalism. One of the overarching questions in each interviewer's mind is, can I see myself working with this person? And so when you interact with your interviewer in a collegial manner, they can make a more likable assessment. We always judge ourselves harshly than other people do. We are our own biggest critics, and then we cook up these insane stories in our head before, during, and after the interview that really don't serve us. So get your head out of those stories and into a more positive, constructive mindset that will help you succeed. Number 2, know the company's pain points. Let's talk about the answer itself. The foundation of your answer is not going to be anything about you. Yep, you heard that correct. The foundation is going to be one or multiple pain points of the company. Because the company wants to know what you can do for them. How are you going to solve their problems, not why you need the company. It may sound harsh, but the interviewer wouldn't care about how much you need the job if they cannot see anything in it for them. In order to find these pain points, you've got to do company and industry research beforehand. Follow the company on socials, know what's the latest and greatest for them, look up the company website, go through their vision and mission statements, their values, and find ways you can add value there. Follow industry giants, influencers, analysts on platforms like LinkedIn to understand the issue the industry is facing, which might be affecting the company. Even better, try and connect with people working in the industry and the company to become aware of the specific issues which you can then offer solutions for in the interview. For instance, through talking to relevant people in the industry, you might find out the company is having a tough time catching up to the industry when it comes to managing employee turnover. Knowing the company's organizational structure and talking to ex or even current employees would help you assess what issues might be there, and you could offer a solution based on not just the industry practices, but also initiatives you've taken or experienced at a previous job. This is the research you've got to do well in time for the interview, and it's worth the effort because it shows that you've taken the time to dig deeper and can genuinely add value to the role you've applied for. Which brings me to the third point, know the role you're applying to. You want to make sure the pain points you address and the experiences you call upon in the answer are actually relevant to the role you're applying to. Again, this is something that applies to the whole interview. The more specific, the better. On top of showing them that you know about what they need, you need to show you understand how you'll be involved in fulfilling that need. As a Gen Z would say, you need to show that you get the assignment. Now, if you're wondering how you will find a problem specific to your role, this is where research will come in. After you meticulously understand the JD, the job description, you'll try to talk to current or ex-employees of the company, people in the industry, and come up with pain points related to your role. For instance, this is a sales manager job, and part of the requirements is to be well versed with the Salesforce CRM. You can connect the dots between what the company is struggling with when it comes to Salesforce implementation and execution, and how your prior experience can help with changing it. Specific, relevant, showcasing your skills. 4, use specific examples. Just as your solutions and the issues they are targeted at need to be specific, so do the examples or experiences you call on in your answer. Including specific to-the-point examples from your previous job lends credibility to your answer. It shows you can walk the talk. Wherever possible, you should supplement these examples with numbers because empirical evidence is always extremely impactful. Just giving vague hypothetical answers won't cut it. In the employee turnover example, if you can back your skills, your achievements with the exact percentage improvement in the employee turnover rate in your previous job would be much more convincing than just saying that you've done this work before. Link the metrics you communicate to the ones that matter in this role for this company. Showcase how your actions improved company's top or bottom line performance, reduced cost, enhanced employee experience, etc. 5. Lastly, end your answer with a question. Remember, it's a conversation. Not only will this give the right impression about your body language and communication skills, but it will also allow you to get immediate feedback about your answers, which you can use as an opportunity to further elaborate your point if the interviewer seems to be confused or unimpressed. So, end your answers with a question like, how do you feel about these initiatives I've put forward? Or do you think these actions will make a positive impact? This conversational manner and keenness to discuss your ideas and take feedback show how committed and enthusiastic you are about this job. An interviewer is much more likely to enjoy a conversational interview than a one-way monologue. Now let's look at a sample answer that will help you see all these points at work together. As per my understanding, in this role, my team will be expected to deal with around 20 clients a week, ensuring setting realistic client expectations and balancing with the time required for quality content creation. Leadership, specifically clear communication with regards to expectations and deliverables, is key. My previous job has helped me master these skills. In my role as a team lead, I implemented a new system of project management, making communication with clients more transparent and cutting down on unnecessary checkpoints in the feedback loop, making the workflow smoother and reducing project completion time. A better client experience resulted in an uptick in recommendations and landing the company 2 new clients shortly after, a rate that consistently kept improving. Delivering creative and innovative content across industries in line with clients' needs and expectations is what sets me apart, which will be valuable in this role. I can't wait to develop my skills further in a fast-paced company like yours. Are there other key challenges in this role I should be aware of? Note that the issue or pain point that the company has is not being worded negatively, which is important because you don't want to sound condescending and flushing all your effort for the interview down the drain. And that would be everything you need to know to ace the question, why should we hire you? But if you've got an interview coming up, I would highly recommend going through all the other interview prep videos I've got on here for you, from mindset hacks to top questions asked. And while you're here, let's get chatting in the comment section and let me know what insights do you have for answering this question.